Oregon's DEQ says in 2020, Oregonians experienced the worst air quality ever recorded in the state. While the 2020 fire season was shorter, the DEQ says it was more intense.
We might see have very more intense wildfires that produce higher concentrations of smoke, and so they might last as long, but the intensity of the air quality, the intensity of the poor air quality could be worse.
Tom Roik with the DEQ says the September wildfires broke records for measuring pollutants in the air. Roik says the smoke was so intense it broke some of the state's monitors, increasing the risk of heart and lung disease.
Our air monitoring stations were measuring higher concentrations of the pollutant PM2.5 than we'd seen at all historically.
Air quality is listed in the following categories: good, moderate, unhealthy for sensitive groups, unhealthy, very unhealthy, and hazardous.
In a more typical year, we might see impacts that are in the orange range or in the red range, which is unhealthy. What we saw back in 2020 was that there were more days that were actually all the way up to hazardous on that scale.
The DEQ report says Medford had 18 unhealthy days between the years 1985 and 2014. Between 2015 and 2020, a quarter of the time, Medford saw 46 unhealthy days.
Then yes, they can absolutely have a detrimental effect.
The trend was also discovered in Klamath Falls. It had 20 unhealthy days from wildfire smoke before 2015. Since then, it had 37.
But if people are exposed to any type of carcinogen, which, smoke has carcinogens in it, or any type of harmful particulate for, any degree of time, those things can have detrimental effects.
Dr. Derek Flack with Asante Urgent Care says it's important to be mindful of the air quality index, especially if you're elderly or have pre-existing conditions.
Maybe choose to run inside on a treadmill, things of that nature, where we still want you to be active, we still want you to be doing these things, but, do it in a way that's a little more health conscious.
When possible, limit the amount of time you spend outside in these conditions.